All right, you guys, quick government risk disclaimer. Trading is risky. Everything that you will see and hear in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, so please do everything at your own risk. If you're going to go buy a prop firm account, do it at your own risk, you guys. This video is mainly just intended to educate you guys about prop firms like E8 markets and how you can use prop firms to potentially make money, right? So let's get into this video, you guys. I have a really tough one today. Took losses on this Monday. It was a brutal day, you guys. I'm not going to lie. I was trying to force the market to do what I wanted it to do. As you guys know, trading is a part of the game, and obviously when you're doing prop firms, it hurts. When you're doing a real account, it hurts, right? It's never going to not hurt. At least that's what I think, right? But I'm here to be transparent about my losses, and I'm proud to be transparent about my losses. Nobody can win all the time. I'm pretty much doing this video series to show you guys, how difficult it really is to get funded and to get consistent payouts. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be easy, sometimes it can be difficult, you guys. But if you're similar to me, right, like let's say you start your day with a losing day, right, on a Monday, right? How do you reset your mind? How do you, get back and focus and not crash out? Because that's something that, I still battle with myself when it comes to, crashing out. For me, you guys, it's all about just knowing that your system works. It's all about just knowing that you're a good trader, right? One loss doesn't define you. You're going to always bounce back. You just have to reset your mind and come back the next day, right? The worst thing you can do when you take a loss is try to, just keep doing more and more, BS that's going to end up causing you to lose more money. All right. So let's look into this chart, you guys. Let's get into this video. I want to break down some of the trades that I took today, you guys. All right. I want to break down some of the trades I took today. All right. This is my Trade Locker account This is my Trade Locker account for my E8 account. So as you guys can see right here, I'm going to break it down on Trade Locker first, and then we're going to switch over and then show you guys what I was looking at on my trading view, right? So right here, I don't even really remember this trade. Oh, you know what? I was taking a sell right here, got stopped right there. Then I was taking, wait, what is this? To be honest, oh, you know what? I think I was taking the sell right here, cover for some small profits, right? And then, but these are the trades. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't even really remember these trades, but those really don't matter anyways, because those are like really small trades. These were the trades, right, that really matters. And I'm going to break these trades down for you guys, right? So we have a trade right here. As you guys, remember this pattern, right? 11:57 a.m., right? We're going to go into a trading view so I can show you guys what I was looking at, why I took the trade, and how I ended up taking a loss on that trade as well. Drop down into the 1 minute time frame. Let's drop down into the 1 minute time frame. Okay, and then we're going to go to 11. All right, 11 right here. Yeah, right here, right? So this trade right here was just lack of discipline, because typically I don't even like to trade after 11. Sometimes I will, push it to 11:30. But anything after 11:30, you got to learn how to just close it down and come back during the evening session, which starts at 1:30 p.m. But this was one of my first real trades of the day, you guys. We was crawling up here. I felt like it was time to sell, so I actually got a pretty much a wick entry on my first entry, but I ended up losing because I tried to scale into the trade right here as we was going down. In real time, price was going down really fast. We had a breakaway gap right here, so I started to really size in, thinking that we was going to start pulling back, right? Because ICT teaches that the afternoon is the run on liquidity, right? So I was thinking like maybe we could at least sweep one of these levels of liquidity, right? But it just didn't happen. And then as you guys can see, I ended up getting stopped out of this position. I took a loss on that one. And then pretty much the second entry that I had was right here. Right, this was no, I'm sorry, it was actually right here. Right, so right here, right, this was about 2:45 p.m. and we had a break below this little low right here. Right, this yellow line was liquidity. And then we had the first presented fair value gap. So my idea was, because the market, it just didn't seem like it really wanted to drop all day. And this is another reason why I'm beating myself up, because as you guys can see from this entry right here, right, look at that. I would have literally been green for the day if I had just held this trade. But what ended up happening was I took the entry from here and ended up selling right into this 5-minute order block right there, right? Just 5 minute, I ended up selling just right there, just because honestly I was down on the day and I was just trying to get a little bit of my profits back. And as you guys can see, like the market chopped in here for so long. So, even if I would have held, I probably would have been selling maybe at the top of this gap. I'm sorry, at the top of this order block. But I wasn't really going to be holding for the entire thing, even though, I felt deep down inside that it could want to go all the way back up to the highs. I'm going to show you guys where the highs was at on a 15-minute chart real fast. All right, so if we had a high right here where this yellow line was at, I didn't know if we was going to want to get there or not. And I was essentially taking this trade off of this 15-minute order block, right? Price had came into this order block one time, respected it, came back down here, swiped some liquidity. I had a really good stop loss. My stop loss was like literally right here, and I was entering pretty much wick entry right there, right? So I had a really good entry on there, but I wasn't able to really hold that. But I did get some profits on that trade. And that trade, I was still down on the day, but I was down very small on the day, right? And then here's the last trade, right? Here's the last trade of the day. I was sitting up here watching, price chop around this 5-minute order block, right? So I'm thinking that maybe price is going to want to hold that, because as you guys can see, for a little while, the bodies of these candles was pretty much respecting that 5-minute order block. But and then once we got the breakout, I'm going to be honest, I should have just closed the trade because we started to use this as support. But I held, I really wanted to hold and be stubborn and just trust my stop loss. My stop loss was right above here, right? So once we got that, support, I should have, like I said, I should have just closed. But, market literally went right to my stop and stopped. And then we had this big rejection down. So right here, this is only about 10 minutes left in the day. So now I'm thinking that I'm on the right side, right? We get this big rejection candle down. Now I'm thinking I'm on the right side. At the time, I was up about 200 in my account as the market had came down here, because my entries was like pretty much right up in here, you guys, right up in here. So I was up a little bit, but then it didn't take long for the market to come right back against me and stop me out. So that was pretty much my last trade of the day, and I'll show you guys that right here. All right, I'll show you guys this right here. So you guys can see it right here. I was selling, then price broke above that 5-minute order block that I was telling you guys about, and then right here, almost stopped me out, came back, gave me some profits, but then it came back again and stopped me out officially, right? And then this last trade right here was just pure, me raging out. I'm going to be honest, market was already closed, as you guys can see. Pretty much it was already closed. And, I had just pretty much full ascended the account because I was honestly ready to just crash out. But then I ended up covering this trade right here for a small profit, right? So that was pretty much the trading day. Let's look at the chart a little bit more, show you guys, why I should have been buying instead of selling. Sometimes we all make mistakes, right? But if you look at the hourly chart, right, from the time that the market opened, we just kept going up, kept gapping up, right? We left all of these breakaway gaps on an hourly time frame. So that was the first indicator that, the market may not want to pull back. But I wasn't even listening to any of my indicators. I wasn't listening to any of my abilities to read price, right? And then even on a 15-minute time frame, right, we have a, gap right here on the 15-minute. This is a breakaway gap as well. and then everything up here held, right? Everything up here held. So I should have never been trying to sell. But if you drop to the 5 minute, I'm going to show you guys why I was selling it, because I thought right, that we could at least want to get to this 5 minute order block right here. So we know we had some liquidity in here. So I was thinking, late day, we can at least run out some liquidity, right? Take out some of those buyers that was in profits, and then at least go to this 5 minute order block, right? So that's the reason why I was taking the sell in the first place. But it turns out the market just didn't want to, cooperate with me today, and I ended up being the liquidity. So, it sucks to make these videos about taking losses, but I just have to be transparent about my losses, you guys. If I blow this account, I have to be transparent about that as well. That's just my whole goal for my channel, is to, be honest with you guys and show you guys the ins and outs of trading, how difficult it can really be sometimes, right? And like I said, you guys, if you're dealing with this as well, where you're, struggling to get past phase 1 or to get past phase 2 in your challenge, you guys, like I said, don't let it define you, man. Just always try to, have good risk management, always trade within your time zones, and just try to be as disciplined as you can, because then even when you take losses, it won't be as bad. Like today I lost pretty much 1,300 on my one-step E8 account, and then I lost about 800 on my phase 2 Alpha Capital account. And yes, it definitely do suck for sure, right? I'm down about 3% on my phase 2, and I only have about 2,700 left to risk on my one-step E8 account, right? Because it's an end of day drawdown, so the drawdown keeps going up every time the day end, and every time I end the day in the profit, my drawdown keeps going up. So the E8 account is, it's a little bit more challenging than I thought it would be, but all in all, I know I'm going to find a winning streak. I know I'm going to find some good trades. I just have to, like right now, my goal and my mindset is to just protect the account. So, for the rest of the week, I'm just going to be looking to just take profits whenever I'm in a good trade, and just try to, be one and done, make a good trade and just be done, right? So that's going to be my goal. That's how you pretty much, or at least that's how I try to like fight drawdown, right? Just take things one step at a time. I know it sucks when you're down on these prop firm accounts. It feels like forever. It feels like you may have been doing your challenge for like 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe you've been doing it for 2 or 3 months. Who knows, right? But I'm just here to tell you guys, don't let it define you, and you can always bounce back. You just have to take your time, and nobody's perfect. Don't beat yourself up about being perfect, man. Like, today I over leveraged a couple times. Today I raged at the end, that could have blew my account, so just got to take things one day at a time, and just try to do better a little bit every day. If you're trying to climb out of drawdown, just be small, man. Just small profits here and there, and before you know it, you'll be halfway out of your drawdown. You look up again, you'll be all the way out of drawdown, right? So you just have to really take your time with these prop firm accounts, you guys. But yeah, so that's the video, you guys. Make sure y'all drop a like, man. I'm trying to get this video to at least 10 likes, you guys. 10 likes, that's all I want. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. And by the way, if you guys are going to go and purchase a E8 account, right, make sure that you sign up with my link and use code KRACKEN. Also, I am affiliated with Alpha Capital and Funder Pro as well. Those are 2 really good companies that I do recommend. So make sure y'all go use the links in the descriptions below, and use code KRACKEN at checkout, and that's the best way to support my channel, you guys. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.